Welcome to LC Screen Talk. My name is Larry, and today I'm sharing my predictions for the 2019 Golden Globe Awards. Award season is upon us, and what fun is award season if we don't talk predictions? So, of course, I'm back to give my picks on who should win and who will win each of the film categories for the Golden Globes. Now, nominees were released early December, but the actual ceremony is coming up on Sunday, December 6th. And of course, I'll have a review including fashion commentary, as well as the night's biggest moments and award winners after the show, so make sure you're looking out for that. But for now, let's just go over my predictions on who's going to be taking home that little Golden Globe statue. Kicking us off is the category of Best Foreign Film, in which we have Capernaum, Girl, Never Look Away, Roma, and Shoplifters all nominated. So I'm going to be honest, I've only seen one of these films. I've heard wonderful reviews about Shoplifters, and I hope that I will be able to check that one out. But at the time, I have only seen Roma. It was a gorgeous film, and honestly, one of the best executed films of 2018. So just on that, I feel comfortable enough saying that it should win. And based on the fact that it's getting Best Picture buzz for the Oscars, as well as all of the actual Best Picture nominations it's received from various critic awards, it's the only one of these nominated for the bigger categories later in the night for the Globes. I'm pretty confident in saying Roma will win as well. Then we move to Best Original Song. We have All the Stars from Black Panther, Girls in the Movies from Dumplin', Requiem for a Private War from A Private War, Revolution from Boy Erased, and Shallow from A Star is Born. I haven't watched Dumplin' and I haven't watched A Private War, but I do think the other three songs are all pretty spectacular. So very nice to see those nominations. The song I think should win is Shallow from A Star is Born by Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper. Not only do I think it's a pretty great song on its own, but it plays such a pivotal role and it's an emotional moment within the film itself. And I think it's going to win. At this point, anything beating Shallow, even come Oscar time, will be a huge shock. From airplay, chart performance, again, Lady Gaga's name attached to it. I think it's running away with this award. So then we move to Best Original Score. We have A Quiet Place, Isle of Dogs, Black Panther, First Man, and Mary Poppins Returns. Quite the shock to see A Quiet Place get nominated for me personally. The score didn't really stand out, and I can think of a lot of others that certainly stood out more, but all right. For me personally, when it comes to who should win, it's definitely between First Man and Mary Poppins Returns. I think those are probably two of my favorite original scores of the year. But ultimately, the one that really moved me the most was First Man. That moon landing scene, the score quite literally just like lifted me up out of my theater seat. So I think that should win. And I really do think it's between those two for who will win, because I don't think either film is going to get any love elsewhere in the evening. But I think they're going to really want to award First Man for something, so First Man will win as well. So we move on to Best Screenplay. Unlike the Oscars, there's only one. We don't divide between adapted and original at the Globes. So we have Roma, The Favorite, If Beale Street Could Talk, Vice, and Green Book. So for who I think should win, it's an easy call. I think The Favorite has the best screenplay out of the bunch. It really is a fantastic screenplay. However, when it gets to who will win, I think it gets a little bit more muddy and complicated. I honestly think it's between The Favorite, Vice, and Green Book, but I think Green Book is third place here. It has a nice script, but I don't think it's really in the running. So are they going to go with who I think should win, or are they going to go with Vice? And I think this is a similar case to what I just said with original score. I just don't think they're going to award Vice anywhere else in the evening, and thus my pick for who will win, I think they want to award their highest nominee of the evening, and they're going to give Best Screenplay to Vice. Whether it deserves it or not, but I think that's who's going to win. Then we move to Best Director. We have Bradley Cooper for A Star is Born, Alfonso Cuarón for Roma, Peter Farrelly for Green Book, Spike Lee for Black Klansman, and Adam McKay for Vice. When it comes to who I think should win, it's a really tight race between Alfonso Cuarón and Spike Lee. I think both of these films are just impeccably directed to the point where the directing actively enhances the film. In comparison, I think the directing really hurts Vice, to be honest. However, I think Roma is perfectly directed. So when it comes to who I think should win, it's a narrow call, but I gotta give it to Alfonso Cuarón. When it comes to who will win, I actually think it's between Alfonso Cuarón still, but Bradley Cooper as his biggest competition. However, Roma is just so amazingly directed. It's literally like made for directing and cinematography awards. I don't know how other films are going to really compete. So, sorry, Brad, I'm going to say that Roma will win as well. Then we move along to Best Animated Feature. We have Incredibles 2, Isle of Dogs, Mirai, Ralph Breaks the Internet, and Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. If you've watched my animation ranking for 2018, you'll know what I'm going to pick here, and that is Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Whether it's the script and emotional impact, whether it's the action, or, clearly, whether it's the amazing animation itself. I really don't think Into the Spider-Verse can be bested by any of the other nominees here in the category. However, getting awards voters to watch animated films is apparently like the most difficult task ever. So I think who will win? I'm going to go with Incredibles 2. They tend to skew Pixar heavily when it comes to just checking a box on the animation field. Spider-Verse, for whatever reason, seems to be getting a whole lot of kiddie looks from outsiders, and I think that's going to push the voters away, and they'll end up giving it to Incredibles. Then we have Best Supporting Actor. So we have Mahershala Ali from Green Book, Timothée Chalamet from Beautiful Boy, Adam Driver from Black Klansman, Richard E. Grant, Can You Ever Forgive Me, and Sam Rockwell from Vice. Pretty stellar category, in my opinion. I think all 5 performances are pretty great. For my should win pick, it comes down to Timothée Chalamet and Richard E. Grant. Both are so good, and I would really love to award both of them. However, for my should win, I'm narrowly going to give it to Timothée Chalamet. I just really thought he did a fantastic job. Another wonderful performance, but one that was just so full of emotion and depth. I thought he was really great. When it comes to who will win, I think it's starting to become a little bit more clear, actually. I think we're getting a little bit more consensus, and I think it's going to go to Richard E. Grant, which I'm very happy with. He was fantastic and definitely deserving, and I think he's the one that'll take home the award. For Best Supporting Actress, we have Amy Adams in Vice, Claire Foy in First Man, Regina King in If Beale Street Could Talk, and then both Emma Stone and Rachel Weisz from The Favorite. For me, I have a pretty clear favorite amongst them. I do think all 5 women give really great performances. However, Rachel Weisz in The Favorite was my personal favorite. Of the nominees, I think she really brings so much to that role. She's fantastic. When it comes to who will win, we've really seen a clear-cut favorite come out of this category, and I think it's going to be Regina King from If Beale Street Could Talk. Long overdue. She's a wonderful actress. Then we have Best Actor in a Leading Role from a Comedy or Musical. We have Christian Bale from Vice, Lin-Manuel Miranda from Mary Poppins Returns, Viggo Mortensen in Green Book, Robert Redford in Old Man and the Gun, and John C. Reilly in Stan and Ollie. This is an easy who should win in my book for this category. It is actually Christian Bale in Vice. However divided I am personally on that film, I think he gives a really amazing performance, and I think it's award-winning, so I think he should win this. However, when it comes to will win, I think he's in the running. I also think Robert Redford may pull off like a sentimental stun come awards night, but I'm gonna go ahead and predict that Viggo Mortensen from Green Book will win. For Best Actress in a Leading Role, Comedy or Musical, we have Emily Blunt in Mary Poppins Returns, Olivia Colman, The Favorite, Elsie Fisher in 8th Grade, Charlize Theron from Tully, and Constance Wu, Crazy Rich Asians. What a nice, lovely surprise there. Certainly deserved. Another really strong category. For my personal pick, it was between Emily Blunt, Olivia Colman, and actually Charlize Theron. Ooh, and it was a tough one. As much as I loved Emily Blunt, it really was down to Olivia Colman and Charlize. I actually think Charlize Theron was asked to act the most, and she definitely went through such a physical transformation. She was so believable and wonderful in the role. I have to say who should win is Olivia Colman. Her performance spoke to me the most out of any of these. Her character was so wonderful. She added so much depth into what easily could have been a caricature. So I think she should win. And when it comes to the voters, I actually think it's between Emily Blunt and Olivia Colman. I struggle to think where the voters are going to go. I think they really want to give Mary Poppins something, but I'm going to predict that it goes to Olivia Colman in The Favorite. Then we move on to Best Picture, Comedy or Musical. So we have Crazy Rich Asians, The Favorite, Green Book, Mary Poppins Returns, and Vice. For my pick on who should win this award, it's pretty clear-cut, honestly. The Favorite, hands down, I think should win. It is genuinely funny, it's actually a comedy, and it's so well executed and acted. I think it's the clear winner in this category. However, I think it's going to be between The Favorite and Green Book for the win here. And honestly, on who I think is going to win the award, I'm going to give the slight edge to Green Book. Just by kind of how predictors have been coming off with the critics awards, just kind of the general feel leading in. I think Green Book has that sentimental value. It'll be a crowd-pleasing win. Then we move on to Best Actor in a Leading Role for Drama. We have Bradley Cooper, A Star is Born, Willem Dafoe at Eternity's Gate, Lucas Hedges, Boy Erased, Rami Malek, Bohemian Rhapsody, and John David Washington, Black Klansman. Whew, what a tough category to predict. For me personally, it definitely comes down between Bradley Cooper and Lucas Hedges. I thought he was stellar in Boy Erased, as was Bradley Cooper from A Star is Born. Oh, this is a tough one to say who I think should win, but ultimately, I'm going to give the slight edge to Bradley Cooper from A Star is Born. I think this is maybe the best I've ever seen him. He really transformed into that role and added a lot of gravitas that lesser actors, I think, wouldn't have been able to pull off. And when it comes down to who will win this award, I actually think it's a very close race between Bradley Cooper and then Rami Malek from Bohemian Rhapsody. And I'm actually not sure which way this one is going to swing, honestly. Ooh, it's a tough one to call. These voters love like a damaged celebrity story and that kind of performance, but that's both of these people. And honestly, I think that Rami Malek's performance is a little bit more showy, so I think it might have caught the attention of the voters a bit more. So for my will win, I think Rami Malek is going to take it. Then we move to Best Actress in a Leading Role for a Drama. We have Glenn Close in The Wife, Lady Gaga, A Star is Born, Nicole Kidman, Destroyer, Melissa McCarthy, Can You Ever Forgive Me, and Rosamund Pike, A Private War. A bit of a strange category for me personally because I've only seen 2 of these films. I haven't seen The Wife. Destroyer hasn't even opened near me anywhere. And then I haven't seen A Private War either. I did think Lady Gaga was fantastic. However, my pick is Melissa McCarthy for who should win. I thought she was really just amazing in her role as Lee Israel in Can You Ever Forgive Me. She's far and away my pick, honestly, for who should win this award. However, who is my prediction to win? Lady Gaga from A Star is Born. Also very deserving. And I just think it's a little bit more the obvious choice right now. And then finally, Best Motion Picture Drama. We have Black Panther, Black Klansman, Bohemian Rhapsody, If Beale Street Could Talk, and A Star is Born. Obviously, we're all very intrigued by A Star is Born and Bohemian Rhapsody being entered in for drama. Maybe they thought this was actually the easier category, so there you go. For me personally, it's definitely between three on the list: Black Panther, Black Klansman, and A Star is Born. Bohemian Rhapsody was actually quite the disappointment to me, so that one would be shocking and a bit disappointing if it actually won. And If Beale Street Could Talk, I thought was a beautiful, well-made film. Just didn't strike me personally. And honestly, it's really between Black Panther and Black Klansman for me. Call me a fanboy or whatever, but I love Black Panther and I think it was really well done. But my pick for who should win is Black Klansman. It had something to say. It was both commercially viable as well as artistically wonderfully done, beautifully directed, and had a very, very strong message behind it. However, I think A Star is Born will win this one. So those are my predictions for the 2019 Golden Globe Awards. What did you think of how I predicted these, whether it be my picks for who I think should win, or my actual predictions on who is going to take home the gold? And more importantly, let me know how you think everything is going to play out come awards night on the 6th, either in the comment section down below, or you can hit me up on Twitter. And if you liked this video, make sure to hit that like button down below. And make sure you're subscribed to the channel, because as we go through award season, I'll have reviews and recaps for the Golden Globes, as well as the Critics' Choice Awards. I'll have a live reaction to the Oscar nominees, Oscar predictions video, Best Picture ranking video, as well as, of course, a recap and review of the big Academy Awards ceremony. So if you're into the award season and talking about these awards and predictions and all that fun jazz, make sure you're subscribed so we can communicate throughout the awards season. Hit that subscribe button. I love you all so much for your continued support. Mwah! Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!